Greetings, I'm Scrab, and I would like to introduce you my Tokyo Marui MP7 AEP HPA kit with a TDC and dust cover mod for the hop-up chamber. The kit is 3D printed from PETG filament and was built around the Bingo Airsoft Designs custom Polarstar Jack HPA engine, which is available on the Airsoft Junkies website as the Polarstar Jack MP7 HPA engine only, or as a part of their full kit, the Bingo Airsoft Designs Polarstar Jack TM MP7 drop-in kit with IGL. I started working on this project years ago, before the pandemic. The MP7 was actually my first HPA project. I use it as my secondary, beside my sniper rifle. Actually, it is my primary, and my SRS is the secondary for the long-range engagement. For that, I use the 50-round magazine. I added feature after feature, tested what worked, what didn't, fine-tuned the design. I expanded the variety of the models for all the available upgrade options, and I finally finished the project at the end of the last year. But first, I had to complete my Scorpion video guide, what I promised. The catalyst for this project was my sense for perfection and the shortcomings of the original Airsoft Junkies MP7 HPA kit, at which the shipping took months, and when it finally arrived, it was cracked. It was not a big issue, I was able to repair it, but I was a little bit disappointed from it. For comparison, this is the newer, resin printed version of their kit. I have not used it yet. I also thought that the Bulgir CNC hop chamber would be the better option to use than the original Marui one. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. If you used it, then you may know that it is hard to adjust, it loses the adjustment over time, and it cracks easily if you over-tension it. And because of these previous reasons, it is really easy to do so. Look how thin the material there it is. And when it cracks, the adjuster won't hold its position at all. But first and foremost, it has different dimensions than the original Marui one. It is wider and shorter, so it won't fit perfectly to the replica's body, and this may cause a variety of problems like misfeeding and inconsistent performance. I had to modify my original Airsoft Junkies kit with these blue spacers to mitigate this issue. I also noticed during my Scorpion project that the VZ61 with my TDC mod is much more accurate, so I developed this TDC lever type arm for both of the hop chambers. Let's assemble it quickly, this time with my Marui setup. It can be adjusted through this hole on the top of the upper rail with the same 2mm hex key as the legendary MK23. So if you own one, you can share with it. This one is from the DTD holster. You have to plug the hex key straight down like that, and now you are able to adjust the hop-up unit. I removed the dust cover plate, so the internals are partially visible from this side. With the dust cover plate installed, it is actually easier to find the adjuster screw than without it. I can demonstrate it on my in-use replica. So the dust cover plate will basically guide down your hex key right to the adjustment screw, like that. Of course, you have to remove the hex key before you pull backwards the dust cover plate. But with this modification, it loses its practical purpose of use. I recommend to use these CNC knobs for the SRS from the Stalker Airsoft, or the Maple Leaf Omega knob with my hop-up arm. They work together perfectly. This hole is for an optional spring. The fire selector plate spring from the V3 gearbox will work fine with it. The TDC arm for the CNC chamber helped a lot. The adjustment loose over time was also mitigated with it, but I was only satisfied with the accuracy and consistency result after I combined the original Marui chamber with my lever type hop-up arm, and I developed this dust cover mode for it. As you can see, they fit together perfectly, and they work together like a charm. What should I say? The Marui magic with my stuff just kicked in. I will talk more about it in the following videos. Because of the length difference of the two hop-up chambers, I had to develop the kit in two different lengths. This one is for the Marui, and this one for the Bull Gear CNC hop chamber. But I also made this spacer, which could be optionally added to the Marui kit, like that, with which it is exactly as long as the purposely built kit for the CNC Bull Gear chamber. This universal adaptive setup might be useful for those who haven't decided which hop chamber they want to use. As you can see, my kit fits exactly to the stock base and to the replica as well. It do not stack, it do not wobble, it just holds its position rock solid. The feeding tube is also in the right position, so no more feeding issues or grinding on the magazines are needed. Now the replica works perfectly with all the MP7 AEP type magazines and the hop chambers as well. But I didn't stop there. It wasn't be me. I also developed a kit for the aftermarket stock bases as well, from the 9-ball, like the AR and the Picatinny one. And of course, in two lengths for the both of the hop chambers, with the option to add the universal spacer to the Marui type kits as well. As you can see, they fit together perfectly. But the aftermarket stock bases are not compatible with the Airsoft Junkies kit. They have a different dimension than the original stock base. These additional parts serves to hold the serial number plate in its position in case you don't want to use the traditional macroline exit hole, this one, and you want to guide the macroline backwards through the stock base, like that. So this option is now open with the aftermarket stock bases and my kits. Before you ask, except the visual tuning, for what purpose are these aftermarket stock bases good for? Then, for example, if you want to make a CO2 powered wireless stock version of the replica, now you have an option to do so. This is the AR stock base with the Redline Airsoft Airstock 2. And this one is the Picatinny Rail one with the Wolverine's Wraith. I will do such a build in the future, probably with this one. If you are interested, stay tuned on my channel. I also made this advanced wire harness, which is exactly the right length. It connects the plug board with the fire control unit. Like that, and it has the trigger contacts built in as well. Because of its compact design, it is space saving and works perfectly with the rest of my kit. But the Airsoft Junkies version of the trigger contacts and the basic wire harness will work with it as well. This is only an optional upgrade. The full auto switch on the kit is adjustable. It will came pre-adjusted like at my Scorpion kit. Before the separate custom jack engine got available, my kit was basically an upgrade package for those who were seeking for the best performance. That has basically not changed, but with the separate jack engine available, my kit is much more viable option as a standalone package as well. So once again, thank you Airsoft Junkies. Because of the wide variation of the upgrade parts, I decided to make them available separately, so that the customer can decide which part he will need. I think this approach will be tempting from the financial side. But while I find out which parts will be the best sellers, I will not store them in large quantities. That means it would take a longer manufacturing time for a while, so if you consider to order them, please be patient. Like at the Scorpion, I plan to make a video series about the disassembly and installation guide, with closer look on the used parts as well. If you have any questions, contact me through scrabarmory@gmail.com. Thank you for tuning in. Take care of yourself. Bye.